What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto had Rinnegan from birth and changed the ninja world forever? If you enjoy this what if, then please like, share and do comment. And also check out our Patreon page for unscored 18 plus Naruto story. So let's start the story.
Chapter 1. Naruto Uzumaki woke to violence not from an enemy but from the relentless shrill of his alarm. It screamed into the silence of his apartment like a warning bell for war. His hand shot out from beneath the sheets, missing the clock the first time. The sound drilled deeper into his skull. On the second attempt, he slammed it hard enough to crack the wood beneath. Silence. For a brief moment he lay there, staring at the ceiling, chest rising slowly. Then his eyes shifted. The calendar. June 16. A pause, then. What is it? Naruto sat up instantly, all traces of sleep burned away. Today wasn't just another day of meaningless lectures or empty stares from villagers pretending he didn't exist. Today was judgment, the genin exam. A slow grin stretched across his face, not excitement but something sharper, something dangerous. Guess I can't skip this one. He moved fast, too fast for an ordinary academy student. The moment his feet touched the ground, chakra flared through the room like an invisible storm. Two figures split from him without hesitation. The first, Akui, cracked his knuckles, already heading toward the kitchen without a word. The second, Metsui, tilted her head slightly, eyes scanning the disaster that was Naruto's apartment. Then she clapped once, and suddenly more Narutos flooded the space. Silent, efficient, obedient. Clean everything, Metsui ordered. They moved like a trained unit. Naruto didn't watch. He stepped into the shower, letting the hot water hit his skin as steam filled the air. This is just the beginning, he thought, eyes half-lidded. Today decides who gets to stand and who gets left behind. A faint chuckle echoed in his mind. The Nine Tails, you're excited. Naruto smirked, wouldn't you be? 5 minutes later he stepped out, already dressed in black, simple, sharp, deliberate. Over it he threw on a white coat, its dark flame patterns licking the edges like shadows trying to consume light. On the back. A title not yet earned, but already claimed. His gaze lingered on it for half a second, then he turned away. Akui handed him a plate. Naruto devoured it without tasting a single bite. Fuel, nothing more. The clones vanished one by one as their tasks completed, their memories flooding back into him like data being uploaded. Clean apartment. No disturbances, everything in order. Naruto exhaled slowly, then created more. This time they weren't for chores, they were for war, each one different, each one carrying purpose, training, strategy, survival. Orders were given quickly, precisely. They didn't question, they never did. When the last clone vanished into the world, Naruto glanced at the clock. 8:55, 5 minutes. A normal student would panic. Naruto simply walked out, the moment he stepped into the street. He disappeared, not completely, but fast enough that people only felt the wind he left behind. Faces turned, whispers followed, eyes filled with something new. Not hatred, not anymore. Now it was fear, respect, something twisted between the two. Naruto didn't slow down. So now they look at me like I matter, he thought coldly. Pathetic. The Nine Tails hummed in amusement. Better than being nothing. Naruto didn't answer. The academy came into view. No hesitation, no pause. He launched himself upward for a brief second. He was flying, then. He landed on the windowsill. Inside, the classroom froze. Uruka blinked mid-sip of his coffee. The chatter died instantly. Naruto sat there casually, one leg hanging outside, completely unfazed. Did I miss anything important? He asked. Uruka checked the clock. 9:00. No, you're right on time. Naruto smirked slightly. Good. He stepped inside, eyes followed him. Some filled with admiration, some with envy, some with something darker. Sasuke Uchiha didn't hide his irritation. How did you do that? He demanded. Naruto glanced at him briefly. Figure it out. The answer hit like a slap. Sasuke's eyes sharpened. You think you're better than me. Naruto didn't respond immediately. He simply walked past him. That silence said enough. The tension in the room thickened. Sakura opened her mouth, ready to defend Sasuke like always. But something stopped her, because Naruto had turned, and for a brief moment. His eyes weren't normal, they weren't just confident, they were heavy, ancient, like something inside him was staring out, and it wasn't human. Even Sasuke felt it, just for a second. Then it was gone. Naruto sat down like nothing happened. Uruka cleared his throat, trying to regain control. All right, today is your final evaluation. Pass this and you become shinobi. Oh. The room straightened, even the air felt different now. Naruto leaned back in his chair, eyes half closed, but inside. His mind wasn't in the classroom anymore, it was elsewhere, watching, through the eyes of his clones, training grounds, forests, hidden corners of the village, everywhere, and then something changed, a flicker, a disruption, one of his clones. Gone, not dispelled, erased. Naruto's eye twitched slightly, another one. Gone, then another, not one location, multiple, simultaneous. His relaxed posture stiffened. The Nine-Tails' voice dropped into a low growl. That's not normal. Naruto's fingers curled slightly. Something was hunting them. No. Someone, and whoever it was. They weren't supposed to be here. Naruto slowly opened his eyes. For the first time that morning, he wasn't bored, he wasn't amused, he was alert, dangerously alert, and deep inside his mind. Something ancient. Smiled, Naruto didn't move, not outwardly. To anyone watching, he looked exactly the same, leaning back in his chair, one arm resting lazily on the desk, eyes half-lidded like he didn't care about anything happening around him. But inside, something had shifted, something cold. She'll be fine, Naruto said flatly, his voice cutting through the lingering tension in the room. If she can't handle a fall like that, then she has no business becoming a shinobi. Iruka inhaled, ready to snap back. Then stopped because he knew, every student in that room knew, Naruto wasn't wrong. A fall like that wasn't lethal, not for someone who had trained even a little. If Sakura couldn't recover from it, then she had already failed long before today. Iruka's expression tightened, but he said nothing more. Naruto had already turned away. He took the empty seat beside Sasuke. The Uchiha didn't look at him immediately, but the tension in his shoulders said enough. A glance came a second later, sharp, measuring. Naruto smirked faintly, still trying to understand me. Sasuke clicked his tongue and looked away, but he didn't speak, not this time. The classroom settled again, but the atmosphere wasn't the same. Naruto could feel it, eyes watching him, judging him, weighing him. Slowly he lifted his gaze, met them, one by one, and just like that. More than half looked away, weak. Naruto's lips curved slightly, but a few didn't. Those were interesting. Kiba and Yuzuka, defiance burned in his eyes. Naruto tilted his head slightly, studying him. Kiba was straightforward, strong instincts, relied heavily on his body and senses, but predictable, too emotional, too easy to provoke. Naruto didn't dislike him, but he didn't fully trust him either, especially when Hinata is involved. Shino Aburame still, silent, unshaken. Naruto's gaze softened just slightly. Shino didn't look away, he never did. There was something steady about him, reliable, like a shadow that didn't abandon you. Naruto respected that. Shikamaru Nara slouched, bored, eyes half open like he'd rather be anywhere else. Naruto almost chuckled. He sees more than he shows, always had. Shikamaru wasn't watching Naruto like the others. He was analyzing, that made him dangerous. Choji Kamichi, eating, of course. Naruto exhaled through his nose. Some things never changed, and honestly, that was comforting. And then Hinata Hyuga, her pale eyes met his for less than a second. Then dropped instantly, a faint blush coloring her cheeks. Naruto watched her a moment longer than necessary. Still can't even look at me properly. Something in his chest tightened. He didn't understand it, so he ignored it. Hey. His voice broke the quiet between them. The group shifted slightly, attention turning toward him. What? Kiba replied, already sounding competitive. Naruto leaned forward, resting his chin on his hand, ready to pass. Kiba grinned, ha. I'm not just passing, I'm beating you. Naruto raised an eyebrow, bold claim. Shikamaru groaned, this is already annoying. Choji offered Naruto a chip without looking. Naruto took it, a silent exchange, trust. Shino adjusted his collar slightly. How do you predict the outcome? Naruto's eyes flickered, calculations, possibilities, variables, then. I'll finish first, he said simply. No arrogance, just fact. That alone made the others pause. You, his gaze shifted slightly, are all passing. That mattered more, Kiba scoffed, obviously. But he smiled, the door slid open. Sakura stepped back inside, her movements were stiff, controlled, but Naruto noticed. The slight tremor in her hand, the anger in her eyes, not fear, not weakness. Good, she hadn't broken. Uruka clapped once, drawing attention. That's enough, we're starting. The room straightened instantly. This exam will determine your future as shinobi. Silence heavy, real, Naruto leaned back again. But inside, his mind sharpened because even now, even here, he could still feel it, that presence, watching. The first portion is written. Papers were passed out, pens lifted, begin. Naruto didn't hesitate, his hand moved instantly. Question 1, answer, next, answer again and again, effortless, but his focus wasn't fully on the paper, it was split, divided, across the village, through the remnants of his clones, through what little remained. Another one vanished. Naruto's pen paused for half a second, then continued, not random, his thoughts sharpened, too precise. Another clone. Gone, his heartbeat didn't change, but his eyes. Darkened slightly, someone is tracking them, not stumbling across them, not accidentally destroying them. No, hunting them, and then, for a single, fleeting moment, Naruto felt it, not through sight, not through sound, but through instinct, a presence, close. His pen stopped just for a second. Something was in the academy. The Nine-Tails' voice dropped into a low, dangerous whisper. Behind you. Naruto didn't turn, didn't react, didn't breathe differently, but slowly. His shadow shifted just slightly, and for the briefest moment, another shadow overlapped it, not cast by light, not belonging to anyone in the room, watching him, smiling. Naruto didn't turn, he didn't breathe differently, he didn't even blink. But the thing behind him, it was still there, lingering, watching, smiling. His pen moved again, smooth, controlled, unbothered. Why was the fourth Hokage feared? Naruto's lips twitched faintly as ink carved across the page. A man who turned space itself into a weapon, who erased armies before they could understand they were already dead. He didn't write admiration, he wrote precision. Greatest disaster to strike Konoha. His pen pressed slightly harder. The night the sky burned and something ancient tore through the village. No hesitation, no emotion, but deep inside. The Nine-Tails stirred, amused. The questions kept coming. Names, clans, history, blood. Naruto answered all of them without slowing, but his mind wasn't in the test anymore. It was behind him, still there, still watching. When he finished, he didn't drop the pencil. He placed it down, gently, controlled. He had been among the first. Of course he was. Time passed. Uruka spoke. Chairs moved. The class shifted outside. Naruto walked with them, casual, unbothered, but his senses were stretched thin. Every step, every breath, every shadow. And then the presence vanished, gone, like it had never existed. A quiet sound, barely audible, but dangerous. The throwing range came into view. Dummies stood in silence, waiting just like the students. Uruka explained the rules. Naruto barely listened. He didn't need to. One by one they stepped forward. Shino, precise, efficient, every strike calculated. Naruto nodded faintly. Reliable, Choji, heavy but determined, not perfect, but strong where it mattered. Hinata, graceful, accurate, quietly lethal. Naruto watched her a second longer than the others. She doesn't even realize how dangerous she is. Kiba, aggressive, fast but sloppy, too much emotion in every throw. Shikamaru, lazy but not careless, even his misses were intentional. Naruto narrowed his eyes slightly. He's holding back, of course he was, then. Sasuke, the room shifted, expectation, pressure. The Uchiha stepped forward like he owned the ground beneath him, and for a moment, he delivered clean hits, sharp control, near perfection, beat that. His voice carried, challenging, demanding. Naruto stepped forward. No words, no expression. He didn't take a stance, didn't aim, didn't even look fully focused. The first kunai left his hand and split the air, impact, then another. Then another, not just accuracy, not just speed, control, absolute. Every strike landed where it should, not where it could. Murmurs spread, but Naruto didn't stop. The second round. He exhaled slowly and something changed. Wind whispered around one blade. Fire flickered across another. Lightning cracked, brief, sharp. Earth pulsed. Water flowed. 5 weapons, 5 elements, all released in a single breath. Impact. The dummies didn't just get hit, they were overwhelmed. Silence followed, heavy, complete. Even Uruka forgot to speak. Even Sasuke forgot to breathe. Naruto lowered his hand like it meant nothing. Next, he said, the world resumed, slowly, reluctantly. The test moved on, taijutsu, fights blurred together, wins, losses, struggles. None of it mattered. Until Naruto stepped into the ring, Sasuke followed. The air changed again, they didn't move, not at first, two predators, waiting. Sasuke broke first, he always did. The attack came fast, sharp, clean. Naruto didn't counter, he absorbed, redirected, controlled. Every strike Sasuke threw came back heavier, stronger, and then one moment, one opening, Naruto moved, the impact echoed. Sasuke flew back, stopped just short of the edge, but the look in his eyes, that mattered more. Confusion, frustration, and something new. Doubt. Naruto stepped back, uninterested. The result was obvious, but even as the match ended, Naruto felt it again, that presence, closer, watching. The Genjutsu test came next, illusions layered over reality. Weak, predictable, Naruto shattered them instantly. Not with effort, with irritation. This isn't the threat, final test. Ninjutsu, one by one. They passed, then. Naruto stepped forward, Mizuki moved first, too fast, too eager, steel flashed, Naruto vanished, a chair shattered, he reappeared, transformed, split, multiplied, not one clone, not two, not 10, a sea. Uruka stared, Mizuki smiled, Naruto noticed, that smile, wrong, too knowing, he passed, of course he did, headband secured, symbol claimed, but Naruto didn't feel victory, he felt watched outside. His friends waited, voices, laughter, relief, normal, too normal. They moved together, toward celebration, toward light. Naruto walked with them, smiling, talking, present, but inside his mind was somewhere else, because far above, on the academy rooftop, a figure stood unseen. Unfelt, eyes locked onto Naruto's back, and slowly, very slowly, it raised a hand, a familiar seal forming, one Naruto had never taught, one only his clones should know, and then every remaining clone across the village stopped moving at once. The clones didn't just stop, they froze, mid-motion, mid-breath, mid-thought. Across the village, dozens, no, hundreds of Narutos stood like statues, their chakra severed from his control. Naruto's smile didn't falter, not outwardly. He was still walking beside his friends, their voices blending into a warm blur of laughter and relief. But inside, something cracked. That's impossible. His control over his clones wasn't something external. It wasn't a thread someone could just grab, it was him. And yet, someone had touched it. Oi, Naruto. You even listening? Kiba's voice snapped him back. Naruto blinked once, then smirked. Yeah, just thinking about how I'm gonna destroy Choji in another round. Choji immediately bristled. I'm still full from last time. Excuses. Shikamaru groaned, troublesome idiots. Hinata giggled softly. Shino remained silent but present, normal. Everything felt normal, too normal. They ordered food, they talked, they laughed. Naruto even smiled, a real one, and for a moment, he almost forgot, but the moment never lasted. It never did, because even as he lifted his bowl, he felt it again, a pull, not on his body, not on his chakra, on his mind. Naruto's chopsticks paused midair. No one noticed. Someone is watching through me, not his eyes, not directly, but through the network he had created, through the echoes of himself scattered across the village. And then it stopped completely, every clone gone, not dispelled, not destroyed, taken. Naruto slowly set his bowl down. Hey, I'll be right back, he said casually. No one questioned it. He stood, walked toward the window, and for a split second, his reflection looked wrong, not him, smiling. Naruto's eye twitched, then it was gone. Oi, hurry up, Kiba shouted. Naruto waved lazily. I'm coming. He turned back, sat down, finished his food, like nothing happened. But the moment they left the restaurant, the air shifted, the sun dipped lower, shadows stretched longer. They raced, laughed, ran toward the hill. Naruto reached first, of course he did. They lay beneath the tree, clouds drifting above, peaceful. But Naruto wasn't watching the sky, he was watching the shadows, because now he knew this isn't random. Someone had studied him, learned him, copied him, and now They were getting closer, the sun disappeared, darkness crept in, they stood, ready to leave, and then… Movement, a figure fast, carrying something. Naruto's head snapped toward it instantly. A second later, the Hokage's voice thundered across the village. The forbidden scroll has been stolen. Everything clicked. Naruto didn't hesitate. Move. They were already running, branches cracked beneath their feet. Wind howled past their ears. Hinata's voice cut through the chaos. I see him, we're gaining. Kiba inhaled sharply. Snakes. Naruto's eyes darkened. Shino confirmed it. Shikamaru connected the pieces, Orochimaru of course, but Naruto's thoughts went deeper, too convenient, too plain, like it was meant to be found. They caught up quickly. Mizuki. The man stepped into the clearing, smiling, wrong, everything unfolded fast, attacks, counters, teamwork, perfect coordination, too perfect. Naruto noticed, every move. Felt familiar, like they had done this before, like someone had already seen it, planned it. Mizuki transformed. Cursed power crawling across his skin, but Naruto didn't focus on him. He focused on the pattern. This is being guided, still. They fought, they adapted, they won. Hinata's strike sealed chakra. Shikamaru locked him down, and Naruto stepped forward, hand rising, but just before he touched Mizuki. Time stuttered, not visibly. Not to the others, but to Naruto. Everything slowed, and in that frozen second, Mizuki's eyes changed, not fear, not rage, recognition, and something else, relief. A whisper escaped his lips, so faint. No one else heard it, he's watching you. Naruto's pupils shrank. What? Too late, his hand connected, the technique activated, and Mizuki collapsed, dead. Silence followed. ANBU arrived, masks, blades, authority. They took the body, spoke of reports, orders, procedure, but Naruto didn't hear them because his mind was still stuck. On that whisper, he's watching you, the Hokage's office, the report was given, clean, efficient, logical, too logical. Hiruzen listened, tired, burdened, he praised them, rewarded them, dismissed them. Parents arrived, pride, relief, warmth. Naruto stood apart, not alone, but separate, because even here, even now, he felt it, that presence, closer than ever, watching, waiting, and as the group left. As the door closed, Hiruzen reached for the paperwork, team assignments. He paused, because one name had already been moved, not by him, the ink. Still fresh, far away. On the academy rooftop. The figure remained unmoving, patient, and finally, it spoke in Naruto's voice. Found you.
Naruto thought the genuine jump would be the beginning of his trial, but instead, it became the moment everything started to fall apart. His clones erased, his power copied, and worst of all, someone out there is watching him. Not just watching, learning him, becoming him. Even Mizuki's final words were not a warning, they were a confirmation. Naruto is no longer alone in his own shadow. So now the real question is, if someone can copy Naruto completely, then who is the real monster? And more importantly, what happens when they family meet?
Chapter 2. Naruto didn't wake up peacefully, he snapped awake. His body was already moving before his mind fully caught up, hand reaching out, senses flaring, chakra instinctively rising as if expecting an attack. Nothing, silence, his room, 6:30 a.m., too early, too quiet, too normal. Naruto sat there for a moment, breathing slow, controlled, but his mind wasn't calm, it was replaying everything. The clones, the presence, the voice, the rooftop. Found you. His jaw tightened. Yeah, he muttered under his breath. I felt that too. The Ninetales stirred inside him, voice low, amused but cautious. You've been marked. Naruto didn't respond, he didn't need to, he already knew. His fingers tapped once against the bed, and 6 figures appeared instantly. Not ordinary clones, commanders, fragments of him refined. They stood before him in silence, each one different, each one dangerous. Hyasuke still disciplined, built for direct combat. Anju cold, precise, blades resting like extensions of her will. Jake calm, calculating, chakra flowing like a controlled storm. Sheikah eyes half-lidded, already thinking 10 steps ahead. Lisa silent, unreadable, carrying a presence that unsettled even the air. Kodri Naruto's gaze lingered on her, not because of appearance, but because of purpose. She was quiet, still, blending into the shadow behind her own body, weapons hidden, intent buried deeper, the kind of existence that didn't need to be seen to kill. Naruto exhaled slowly, orders. They listened, of course they did. Hyasuke Monument, adapt your strikes, I want counters ready for gentle fist users. Gon Anju Jake Deep Forest, push beyond your limits. A pause, not fear but awareness, then. Gon Shika standby, I'll need you soon. A nod dispersed, Lisa, continue your work. No questions, she sank into the ground like she had never existed. Naruto turned, Kodri was still there, waiting. Naruto held out two small slips, not names, not faces, just chakra signatures, targets. Kodri took them, didn't ask why, didn't ask who, she simply vanished, not in smoke, not in light, in absence. Naruto stood alone again. You're escalating, the Ninetales noted. Naruto walked toward the bathroom. Someone already started the game. Water hit his skin, cold, sharp, grounding. Someone can copy me. That thought didn't scare him. Someone can interfere with my clones. That was unacceptable. By the time he stepped out, dressed and fed, he had already made a decision. He wasn't going to wait. Shadow Realm, the Ninetales asked, excitement barely hidden. Naruto's eyes darkened. Yeah. He stepped forward, and the world swallowed him. Darkness, then. Impact, black sand shifted beneath his feet. The sky above wasn't a sky, it was something else. Endless, watching. Naruto stood in front of his fortress. Silent, massive, alive. Feels quieter than usual, he murmured. It won't stay that way. The Ninetales stepped beside him. Not sealed, not restrained, free. Naruto glanced at him once. Stay close. The fox grinned, try and keep up. And then, the world responded. A roar split the horizon. The ground trembled. Naruto didn't move because he already knew something was coming. And then, it appeared. A massive figure broke through the distant darkness, towering, brutal, behind it. A sea, thousands of red eyes, hunger, violence. The Ninetales whistled low. Well, that escalated quickly. Naruto's expression didn't change. Instead, he raised a hand and 5 figures crashed into the sand behind him. Kiba, Shino, Hinata, Choji, Shikamaru disoriented, confused. What the Kiba snapped. Shikamaru blinked slowly. I was sleeping. Hinata looked around and froze because the monsters were already charging. Naruto didn't turn. Didn't explain gently, this is training. They stared at him. Naruto's voice dropped, colder, sharper. Survive. And then, he stepped forward. The battlefield erupted. The Ninetales tore into the front line like a storm given form. Clones crashed into the swarm. Fire, lightning, steel, blood, chaos, but Naruto didn't rush. He watched, analyzed, because even here, even in this world, he felt it, that same presence, not attacking, not interfering, watching, learning. Naruto's eyes narrowed slightly. You followed me here. And then, something impossible happened, not in the battlefield, not in the chaos, but inside the system of this world itself, for a brief second. A flicker, like something else had accessed it, like something didn't belong. Naruto's lips curved slightly. Good. Because now, he wasn't being hunted, he was being challenged, and somewhere, beyond sight, beyond understanding, something watched Naruto and smiled back. It didn't stop. That was the first thing Shino noticed. It should have ended at one. A single increase, a single change. That's how growth worked. But this was something else. The world froze again. Not the battlefield, not the chaos, everything. The wolves mid-leap, Hinata mid-breath, the wind itself suspended, and then the void responded, congratulations. Shino didn't flinch, didn't question, he observed, because something was speaking to him, not through sound, through existence. The information poured in, not read, understood, power, increase, change, and then Something new. Multiple hosts. Shino's eyes narrowed behind his glasses, his Kikeichu stirred beneath his skin. Responding, growing, multiplying, not naturally, not biologically, systematically, interesting. Even his own voice sounded different, colder, sharper. The world didn't unfreeze yet, instead. More options appeared, commands, choices, control. Shino tested it, carefully. Save. The air rippled, a reflection of himself appeared, not physical, not illusion, data. If I fall here, I don't lose everything. That alone. Changed everything. A faint smile formed beneath his collar, barely visible. Stats. More information, more clarity, numbers, limits, potential, weaknesses. His eyes paused on one thing: growth paths, training, missions, combat. Everything had value, everything had weight. Even failure. Shino closed his eyes briefly. So this world rewards evolution, not survival, not luck, adaptation. His eyes opened again. Continue. The world shattered back into motion. A wolf lunged. Shino moved, cleaner, faster. The blade cut through bone like it belonged there. Another came. He didn't hesitate, didn't retreat. He grabbed it, snapped it. More came, and Shino welcomed them because now he understood every kill was progress, every risk was growth. By the time the wolves stopped coming, Shino stood still, untouched, different, not stronger physically. Not yet, but sharper, more aware, not far away. Hinata moved, grace, precision. Fear was still there, but it no longer controlled her. Each strike. Perfect, each movement. Purposeful. She didn't overpower them, she ended them. Silently, efficiently, and for the first time. Hinata didn't hesitate after. She stepped forward, seeking the next, elsewhere. The ground shook, the Cyclops roared, and 4 figures stood against it. Kiba, Shikamaru, Choji, Naruto, come on. Kiba barked, launching forward without waiting. Idiot, Shikamaru muttered. But he moved too. Choji expanded. Mass meeting mass, the impact cracked the air. The giant staggered but didn't fall. Naruto watched, still, analyzing, because again. That feeling, that presence, stronger now, closer, watching this fight like it wanted to see. How far they would go, troublesome, Shikamaru exhaled. And then, his shadow exploded outward, not stretching, not crawling, expanding. The shadow realm responded to him, empowered him. His jutsu didn't move through shadows. It became them, hundreds. No, thousands of tendrils pierced forward. The Cyclops screamed. Golden blood erupting as shadows impaled its body from every angle. WOAH, Kiba grinned midair. That's new. Choji roared, driving another blow into the giant's skull. It cracked, but not enough. The Cyclops swung wildly, sending Choji crashing back. The ground shattered, and for a split second, everything aligned, an opening. Naruto stepped forward, but then time shifted, not like before, not frozen, rewritten just slightly. The Cyclops turned not toward Kiba, not toward Shikamaru, toward Naruto, directly, its single eye locked onto him, and for the first time, it smiled. Naruto's pupils shrank. You're not part of this. The word slipped out low, dangerous, because he understood. This wasn't the creature, this was something using it, watching through it, learning through it. The club rose. But not like before, too precise, too controlled, like it knew exactly where Naruto would move. The 9 tails growled behind it. Naruto moved instantly. But the attack followed, adjusted, predicted. Naruto twisted midair, barely avoiding impact, and landed slowly. His expression changed, not anger, not fear, excitement, dangerous. You can see me, Naruto whispered. The Cyclops tilted its head, and then, in Naruto's voice, I've been watching. Silence fell, even the battlefield felt it, even his friends paused because something was wrong. Deeply wrong. Naruto stepped forward again, this time smiling good. Because now, it wasn't hiding anymore, and neither was he. The Cyclops smiled, not in rage, not in pride, in recognition. Naruto's own voice echoed from its cracked lips. I've been watching. For a split second. No one moved then. The battlefield exploded again, tunneling Fang. Kiba's roar shattered the tension as he launched forward, body spinning like a living drill, tearing through the air with raw force. He didn't hesitate, didn't think, he attacked. Impact. The Cyclops screamed as its single eye was struck again, this time with brutal precision. The ground trembled beneath the force, but something was wrong. It didn't recoil the same way, it adapted. The moment Kiba pulled away, the Cyclops' body twisted unnaturally fast, too fast. Its massive hand slammed down. Kiba vanished in the impact. Kiba, Choji shouted. Too late, the battlefield shifted violently. The Cyclops roared. But it wasn't pain, it was laughter, mad, unhinged. The club swung wildly. But every strike landed too perfectly, Choji expanded. Only to be struck mid-motion. Sent crashing into the ground hard enough to split it open. Shikamaru's shadow stretched. But the Cyclops moved around it, avoided it, like it already knew. Troublesome, Shikamaru started. The tree above him snapped, crushed him, 3 bodies. Gone, not blood, not death, just ash. Silence followed. Naruto stood still, watching, learning, confirming, it's not just copying me. It's studying everything. The Cyclops turned toward him again, burned, broken, smiling, ahahaha. Naruto sighed softly, you're annoying. The ground beneath him exploded, 3 trees crushed down. But Naruto was already gone, reappearing midair. His hand rose, chakra twisted, dark, bright, violent. Let's see how much you can handle. The air screamed, a sphere of fire formed. Not normal fire, it howled, white, black, blue, alive. Naruto didn't hesitate, he threw it. Demon art. The world seemed to shrink, Kagetsuchi's wrath. Impact then. Nothing for half a second. Silence then. The world broke, flames erupted like a god's anger unleashed. A pillar of fire tore into the sky. Splitting the darkness itself, the Cyclops screamed. But it wasn't just pain. It was resistance, something inside it. Fighting back, the flames consumed everything, burned everything. Even the Shadow Realm itself seemed to tremble. Shino and Hinata froze, even the wolves stopped, even the Ninetales paused, because this wasn't normal power, this was destruction. When the flames finally died, there was nothing left standing, only a crater, and at its center, the Cyclops burned, broken, but not gone, still breathing. Naruto landed at the edge, slowly, carefully, watching. The creature's eye flickered. Barely open, it looked at him, and for a moment, it wasn't the Cyclops, it was him. Not enough. Naruto's expression darkened. Yeah, he said quietly. I figured. He stepped forward, ready to end it, but a clawed hand stopped him. The Ninetales grinned. My turn. Naruto glanced at him. Then stepped back, the others turned away. The screams didn't last long, they never did. Silence returned, heavy, final. But Naruto didn't relax, because even as the body disappeared, even as the system processed the kill, he felt it still there, still watching, unharmed, untouched. So you're not inside it, Naruto muttered. Realization settled in, cold, dangerous. That was just a puppet. The Ninetales wiped blood from his claws, smirking. Took you long enough. Naruto didn't react, because now the truth was clear. This thing doesn't fight, it observes, learns, adapts, and then it replaces. Naruto's eyes lifted toward the sky that wasn't a sky. I see you. For a brief moment, the darkness above smiled back, and then everything shattered. The Shadow Realm rejected them. Naruto forced them out. All at once, reality slammed back into place. Grass, wind, silence. His team groaned. pulling themselves together, confused, exhausted, changed. What the hell was that? Kiba muttered. Naruto didn't answer immediately. He looked at them. Really looked. They were stronger, sharper, different, good, because they would need to be. That place, Naruto finally said quietly, is where I grow stronger. He paused, then added, and now it's where something else is learning too. The wind picked up, and for a brief second, Naruto's shadow moved on its own. Naruto's shadow moved, just for a second, just enough. He saw it, didn't react, didn't acknowledge it, but inside, something sharpened. You're getting closer. He turned back to the group. Kiba was still stretching his shoulders, shaking off the lingering pain. Choji rolled his neck, muttering. Shikamaru stared at his own shadow like it had personally offended him. Hinata stood quieter than usual. Shino was smiling. That alone was wrong. You feel it too, Naruto said. Shino nodded once. Growth. Not excitement, not fear, understanding. Naruto exhaled slowly. Good, then listen carefully. They all focused, even Kiba, even Shikamaru. That place wasn't just training, Naruto continued. It's a system, a world that rewards evolution. I didn't reach where I am by luck. His gaze darkened slightly. I forced my way through it. Fragments of memory flickered behind his eyes. Battles that lasted days, endless waves. Burning skies, shadows that tried to consume him. I used everything, he said quietly. Clones, summons, techniques I shouldn't have survived using. I pushed until that world broke before I did. Silence followed, and even then, Naruto added, it wasn't enough. That hit them harder than anything else, because if he said that, then what were they stepping into? Shino adjusted his glasses. Then we go further. Everyone looked at him. Kiba blinked. Did you just... I understand it now, Shino continued calmly. That world doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards those who adapt, and we already changed. He wasn't wrong, they could feel it. Kiba clenched his fist. Yeah, I'm faster. Choji nodded, stronger too. Shikamaru sighed, more troublesome. Oh, but even he didn't deny it. Hinata looked down at her hands. Clearer. Naruto watched them carefully. They're changing too fast. That thought lingered, not fear, concern, because growth, without control, was dangerous. Naruto straightened. If you follow me into that world again, you don't hesitate, you don't freeze, you don't rely on anyone else to save you. His voice dropped, colder, because next time something else might be watching through you. Silence that landed. Even Kiba didn't joke. Shikamaru narrowed his eyes slightly. That thing, it's not just copying you, is it? Naruto didn't answer immediately. No, he said finally, it's learning everyone. The wind picked up again, this time. No one ignored it then. Naruto glanced at the clock, 8:29. We're late. Kiba groaned, you're the worst. Naruto smirked faintly, relax. A shadow stretched unnaturally across the ground. Then tore open a portal, move. They didn't hesitate, one by one. They stepped through the classroom. Iruka sighed, arms crossed. They're late again. Before he could finish, reality split, the wall cracked open. Not physically, but something deeper, and Naruto stepped out, followed by the others, stumbling slightly as they re-entered reality. The class froze, complete silence. Iruka blinked once, twice, then exhaled. I'm not even going to ask. Naruto grinned faintly because he knew everyone here had secrets, some just darker than others. They took their seats. The room buzzed again until... Teach me that, Sasuke. Naruto didn't even look at him. You can't. That answer hit instantly. Sasuke's eyes sharpened. Why? Naruto leaned back slightly. Because it's not something you learn, it's something you are. A pause, then. For now, you don't qualify. Sasuke clenched his fist, but said nothing. Iruka stepped forward. This is your final moment as a class. The room quieted. From here on, your lives change. No jokes, no interruptions. Even Naruto listened, because this was real. Some of you will rise. Uruka's voice softened. Some of you will struggle. Then, it hardened, and some of you might not make it. The weight of that settled over them. Naruto's gaze flickered. Not to Uruka, but to the shadows behind him, still watching. Teams will now be assigned. Names were called one by one, then Team 7. Naruto's attention sharpened. Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburame, Naruto Uzumaki. A pause, Jonin instructor Kakashi Headache. Naruto's eyes narrowed slightly. Kakashi. Interesting, Shino adjusted his glasses. That Kakashi. Naruto smirked faintly. Yeah. Across the room. Sasuke's reaction was immediate. Why them? Naruto didn't even turn, but his voice cut clean. Because you're not ready. Silence heavy, Uruka stepped in, explaining, balancing, but Naruto had already stopped listening, because again. That feeling stronger now, closer, not outside, not above, inside the room. Naruto's eyes shifted. Just slightly toward the corner, where no one stood, where no one should be. And for a split second. Naruto stood there, smiling, then. Gone. Naruto didn't react, didn't move, didn't breathe differently, but inside. He spoke, I see you, and this time. Something answered back, good. The voice didn't echo, it didn't need to, it was already inside the silence. Naruto didn't move, didn't react, but something inside him shifted. So you can speak now. No answer, of course. The presence faded again, not gone, never gone, just waiting. Naruto leaned back in his chair, calm, relaxed, but his fingers tapped once against the desk, a habit, a signal, far away. A shadow completed its task, and the memory returned. Naruto's eyes flickered, just slightly. Done. He didn't smile, not openly, but something colder settled behind his gaze. Around him, the classroom buzzed. Voices, complaints, excitement, normal, too normal. Hinata sat quietly beside him, her posture straighter than before. Shino remained still, but his awareness filled the space like a silent net. They had changed. Naruto noticed, and so did something else, from the corner of the room. Where nothing should exist. A faint distortion watching them, measuring. Naruto exhaled slowly. Keep watching, I want you to, because now. He was watching back. 2 hours, Naruto said casually, breaking the quiet between them. Hinata blinked, for our sensei. Naruto nodded. Kakashi Headache doesn't value time the same way others do. Shino adjusted his glasses, or he tests patience. Naruto smirked faintly, both. Outside, the village moved as always. Unaware, but beneath that calm. Things were shifting inside the Hawkage Tower. Tension, voices layered over each other. Sharp, controlled, political. Hiruzen Sarutobi sat at the center. Listening, enduring, explain your decision. Danzo's voice, cold, demanding. Hiruzen didn't sigh, didn't show fatigue, but his eyes. We're tired, the teams are balanced. Simple, direct, but that wasn't enough. Arguments followed. Logic, power, bloodlines, control. Kakashi stood off to the side, silent, watching until he spoke. You're asking the wrong question. The room paused. Danzo's eyes shifted toward him. Kakashi's tone didn't change. You're worried about where the Uchiha stands. A pause. You should be asking where Naruto stands. Silence, heavy, uncomfortable. Because that was the truth no one wanted to say out loud. Hiruzen's gaze flickered slightly. He knew, he had always known, that Naruto Uzumaki was no longer something simple. Enough, Hiruzen said quietly. Authority filled the room instantly. The teams are set. Final, unchangeable, or at least. That's what he believed elsewhere. 2 elders walked through the village, talking, planning, blind. They didn't see the shadow behind them, didn't feel it, didn't understand. That they had already been marked. Their conversation continued. Ambition, control, future plans, then Pain sudden, violent, their steps faltered, hands clutched their chests, confusion, fear, too late, they collapsed, the world around them erupted into chaos, but the cause was already gone, dissolved, untraceable back in the classroom. Naruto closed his eyes briefly, the memory settled, confirmed, 2 obstacles removed, but even that didn't satisfy him because something else remained, something bigger, more dangerous, still watching. Naruto opened his eyes, and this time the shadow in the corner didn't disappear, it stood there, clearer, sharper, another Naruto, smiling, not mocking, not threatening, curious. "So that's how you play," it said softly. Naruto didn't move, didn't speak, but his gaze locked onto it. Unyielding, "You're late." The entity tilted its head slightly, then smiled wider. "No, I've always been here." The air between them tightened, invisible but real. Naruto leaned forward slightly, then come closer. A challenge, an invitation, or a trap? The entity didn't move, not yet, but its smile deepened behind Naruto. Hinata shivered, Shino's insects stirred, because even if they couldn't see it, something in the room was very, very wrong. "I've always been here." The words lingered, not in the air, but in Naruto's mind. Naruto didn't respond, didn't blink, but something inside him locked in, then watched closely. The presence didn't vanish this time, it stayed just at the edge of perception, listening, learning. Naruto leaned back slightly as if nothing had happened. "Why not?" Hinata's soft voice broke the silence beside him. Naruto shifted his gaze away from the corner for now. "It's just how he is," Naruto replied casually. "Time doesn't matter to him unless someone stronger than him makes it matter." "Oh." Shino tilted his head slightly. "And you know this how?" Naruto smirked faintly. "I pay attention." A half-truth, because even now he wasn't just paying attention to Kakashi, he was paying attention to everything. Time passed, slow, heavy. The presence didn't move, didn't speak again, but it didn't leave, and that was worse then. The door slid open, a man entered, silver hair, relaxed posture, one eye visible. Late, of course. Naruto watched him closely, not just Kakashi, but the space around him. The shadows, nothing, the presence didn't react. "Interesting, you're all slow," Kakashi said lazily. Naruto's eyebrow twitched. "This guy." "You were supposed to find me," Kakashi continued. Naruto exhaled through his nose. "Or maybe you were supposed to show up like a normal person." Kakashi's eye curved slightly, amused, then gone. Naruto didn't hesitate, he moved, out the window. Shino and Hinata followed instantly. The rooftop, wind, open sky. Naruto landed first. Kakashi leaned against the railing like nothing mattered, but Naruto noticed the way his single visible eye flickered. He was observing, testing. Naruto sat, Shino beside him, Hinata close. The formation wasn't random, and Naruto knew. The thing watching him noticed that too. "Introduce yourselves," Kakashi said. Hinata hesitated slightly, then spoke. "Shouldn't you go first?" A pause, then. "Aside," Kakashi began. But Naruto cut in, not to mock, not this time, to observe, to see if the other him would react, but nothing changed. No interruption, no mimicry, just silence. Naruto filed that away. His turn came. "Naruto Uzumaki." His voice was calm, measured. "I like getting stronger, I like winning, I like the people who stand beside me." A pause. "I don't like weakness." That was new, even Kakashi noticed. Naruto didn't elaborate because he wasn't talking to them. He was talking to it. Shino followed, Hinata after, and when she spoke, Naruto felt it, a shift, small but real, the presence reacted just for a second. Hinata's words lingered, her honesty, her resolve. Naruto didn't look at her, but he noted it. "So you react to people." "Interesting." Kakashi observed them all, then nodded. "You're strange." A faint pause. "I like it." Naruto smirked slightly. "Tomorrow, training ground." "Oh." Kakashi's tone changed slightly. Less lazy, more intentional. "Don't eat." Naruto almost laughed, almost, because in that moment The presence behind him leaned closer, close enough that Naruto could feel it right behind his shoulder, watching Kakashi, analyzing him too. Naruto's smile faded slightly. You're expanding your target. No answer, of course. Kakashi disappeared and the rooftop fell silent. Naruto stood. Let's go. His tone was casual, but his eyes sharp, focused, because now it wasn't just about him anymore. The thing watching him was watching everyone, and that made it dangerous. They walked toward normalcy, toward routine, toward something that no longer existed. Naruto glanced at the glass of a nearby building and saw it again, standing beside him. Same walk, same posture, same smile, perfect, too perfect. Naruto didn't stop, didn't react, but this time he spoke softly without moving his lips. Try copying this. His chakra pulsed. Not outward, inward, twisted, unnatural, something even the Nine Tails didn't recognize. The reflection paused for the first time. Its smile faltered just slightly. Naruto's eyes darkened. Got you. And then the reflection vanished behind him. Hinata shivered again. Shino's insects buzzed faintly because something had just gone very, very wrong.
Naruto thought he was being haunted, but what if he was being studied? Someone out there is not just watching him anymore, it's learning him, copying him, becoming him. And for the first time, Naruto pushed back and it raised that means one thing, it's not invisible. But here is the real question, if Naruto can break it once, then what happens when it decided to stop absorbing and finally attack? Because now this is not a game of shadow anymore, it's a war between two Naruto. So tell me, who do you think will survive when they finally face each other?
Chapter 3. The smile faded, not Naruto's, the other one's, just for a fraction of a second. But that was enough. Naruto stood still, staring at his reflection in the glass, calm, unmoving inside. Everything sharpened. You hesitated, no response. The presence was still there. But quieter now, more careful. Good. Naruto turned away. Time to move. Hinata and Shino followed without question, because they felt it too. Something had changed, not just Naruto, the world around him. Darkness swallowed them, the shadow realm, but this time it felt different, heavier, like the world itself was watching back. Naruto landed first, black sand shifting beneath his feet. Shino and Hinata followed, neither spoke. Because what stood before them wasn't just a battlefield, it was a kingdom. Naruto's kingdom, but even that word didn't feel right anymore, because it wasn't just his, not anymore. Stay close, Naruto said quietly. His voice carried weight, not authority. Warning. They moved forward, and the scale revealed itself. Massive structures, living defenses, creatures that shouldn't exist. Yet did. Everything here had purpose. Everything here was built for war. Shino's eyes scanned everything, absorbing, learning. Hinata's Byakugan activated. And immediately she froze. Naruto. Her voice trembled, not from fear, from confusion. There are thousands. Naruto nodded. I know. But even he paused because something felt off. The formations were correct. The defenses were intact. But the pattern, it had shifted slightly, just enough. That Naruto noticed. You touched this place. No answer, but the silence confirmed it. Naruto continued the tour, explaining, showing, but his attention was split, watching everything, measuring everything, because even his strongest domain was no longer safe. They reached the central structure, a massive fortress rising into the unnatural sky. Hinata looked up. Eyes wide, Shino remained quiet. But even he couldn't fully hide the shift in his breathing. Naruto didn't react. This is where I control everything. A simple statement, but the weight behind it was immense. They moved inside. Rooms, levels, systems, everything designed for survival, for growth, for domination. Shino's mind raced. Hinata's senses stretched. And Naruto Watch them both, they're adapting faster now, faster than before, too fast, then. The interruption came, a clone burst into the room. Contact. Naruto didn't turn, report. Large force approaching, heavy units, air support. Naruto's eyes narrowed, already, too soon, too coordinated, too familiar numbers. Hundreds, and above them. A pause, something leading them. Naruto exhaled slowly. Of course, it wouldn't just observe, it would escalate. Naruto stood. Move. They followed instantly, through corridors, through shadows, into the open battlefield, and then they saw it, an army, cyclopes, massive, brutal, but Naruto didn't focus on them, he focused on the sky because something else was there, watching, waiting. A massive shape circled above, not attacking, not rushing, observing just like before. Naruto's eyes darkened, you're testing me. The creature above tilted slightly. As if hearing him, then. It moved fast, too fast, descending, and in that moment, Naruto understood this wasn't random, this wasn't just an attack, this was a simulation, a controlled escalation, a test for him, for his team, for everything he had built. Naruto's lips curved slightly. All right. His chakra flared, dark, twisted, unfamiliar, the same pattern, the one that made it hesitate. Let's see how much you've learned. The battlefield erupted, creatures collided, shadows moved, fire and steel tore through the air. Hinata dropped into motion. Shino released his swarm. Naruto stepped forward. And this time, he wasn't fighting to win, he was fighting to force it out above him. The entity watched, and for the first time, it didn't just smile, it focused, truly focused, because now, Naruto wasn't just reacting, he was hunting. The entity focused, not on the battlefield, not on the army, on Naruto. And Naruto stepped forward. This wasn't a fight anymore. It was a conversation, a violent one. Reality snapped, training ground 7. Kakashi stood across from him, calm, unbothered, but Naruto didn't see his teacher, he saw a test. Water dripped from Kakashi's hair, a small imperfection. Careful, Kakashi muttered, adjusting slightly. You're making a mess. Naruto didn't respond, because the moment he did, the thing watching would learn. So instead, he moved, a blur, steel flashed. Naruto's blade cut through the air. Silent, deadly, Kakashi bent just enough, the blade missed. But Naruto didn't stop, a kick followed, intercepted, a counter. Impact, Naruto was launched upward. But instead of resisting, he flowed with it, adapted, his blade spun. Then returned to his hand midair, seals formed instantly, fire style. Flames erupted, but Kakashi didn't dodge, didn't retreat, he cut through it, clean, precise. Naruto landed, eyes narrowing, that's new. Kakashi moved, too fast, a fist. Naruto blocked. But the impact still sent him sliding back, he adjusted mid-motion. Springing off a tree. Re-engaging instantly, kick, counter, rotation, both moved like mirrors, reading, adapting, learning. Love. The entity watched and something terrifying happened. It began to follow the rhythm, not copying yet, but understanding. Naruto felt it, and that made him smile. Let's push it. Chakra flared, darker now, more unstable. Demon art, hell flames. White fire erupted, violent, unforgiving. Kakashi's eye widened. Just slightly troublesome. Then, white chakra exploded outward, not defensive, opposing. The flames collided. And disappeared. Naruto froze for the first time. What? Kakashi stood there, surrounded by a white glow, untouched. Not everything burns the way you expect, he said quietly, then. The attack came, a concentrated blast. Naruto couldn't dodge. Impact, he was thrown. Through trays. Into water. And silence followed, underwater. Naruto sank. – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– –– –– –– –– – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –ー The Nine Tails spoke, of course it was. Naruto didn't respond because he already understood. There were counters, always counters, to every power, even his, and that meant the entity could learn them too. Naruto's eyes opened underwater, dark, focused. Then I just need something it can't copy. Love. The surface rippled and Naruto rose elsewhere. Shino and Hinata fought, relentless, focused, but something was wrong. The opponent didn't stay down, didn't weaken, didn't break. It adapted. Every strike, every move, learned. Shino's insects surged, only to be countered. Hinata's strikes landed, but didn't finish. It's adjusting, Shino said calmly. Hinata nodded. I know. Her stance shifted. Not standard anymore, evolving. She moved again. Faster this time, her palms struck. But not physically, air bent, pressure changed. The clone reacted. But too late, its jacket tore, a clean cut, without contact. Shino's eyes widened slightly. You changed the flow. Hinata didn't answer. She moved again, this time. Faster, sharper, her strikes blurred, and the clone hesitated just for a moment, the same moment Naruto had created earlier and somewhere. Watching all of this, the entity paused because now it wasn't just Naruto, the entire team was becoming unpredictable, and for the first time, the thing that learned everything didn't know what would happen next. The entity hesitated, not long, not enough for anyone else to notice, but Naruto saw it. And that meant it could be pushed further. The battlefield blurred, not gone, not replaced. Layered, Training Ground 7 overlapped the Shadow Realm like two realities fighting for control. Kakashi stood there, calm, sharp, but Naruto wasn't just fighting Kakashi anymore. He was fighting while being watched, while being studied, while being copied. Let's see how far you've adapted, Naruto muttered, and then he attacked. Steel flashed, fast, precise. Kakashi ducked, countered a kick. Impact. Naruto was sent upward. But this time, he didn't follow the flow, he broke it, midair. His body twisted unnaturally, rewriting his momentum. Kakashi's eye narrowed. That wasn't normal movement. Naruto's hand seals formed. Faster than before, cleaner, fire erupted. But not like earlier. This time, it bent, distorted, unpredictable. Kakashi cut through it again. But something felt off, too easy. Naruto landed. And didn't move because behind Kakashi, something else had already started on the other side. Hinata struck first. Her palms moved like flowing water. And this time, they connected. Impact. The clone staggered. Water spread instantly. Not just soaking. Binding, slowing, freezing. The clone's movements dulled. Interesting, it muttered. Hinata didn't stop. She stepped forward. Faster, sharper, her wind chakra flared, boosting her speed beyond what the clone expected. A second strike landed. Then a third. Each one amplifying the effect. The clone's body grew heavier, slower, weaker, and for the first time, it struggled. Shino moved next, silent. Precise, his insects swarmed. But not randomly, directed, controlled, evolving, burn. A single word, small embers formed. Hundreds, thousands, clinging, layering, building pressure. The clone tried to react. Too late, detonate. The explosion wasn't large, but it was perfect, focused. The clone shattered, gone. Shino exhaled slowly. Hinata stepped back, both drained but stronger, different. We go to Naruto, Shino said, no hesitation. Hinata nodded. They moved, back to Naruto. The lake rippled, three figures burst upward. Clones, perfect timing, perfect coordination. Kakashi moved. But something felt wrong. Too many angles, too many variables. The clones crashed down. Smoke, confusion. Kakashi cleared it instantly. But Naruto was already ahead. Wind met fire. Reversed. A mistake. No, a trap. Kakashi dodged. Into water. Safe, or so he thought, water style. The lake beneath him shifted. Sharks formed, hunting, controlled. Naruto followed. Underwater. Breathing, adapting, Kakashi reached land. But Naruto was already repositioning. Hinata struck. Shino followed. 3 angles, 3 minds, 1 flow. Kakashi dodged. Countered. Adapted. But something was different now. They weren't reacting anymore. They were predicting, evolving mid-fight, and above all, they were moving as one. Naruto's shadow flickered. The same strange pattern. Again, the entity watched. And this time, it didn't understand, not fully. That hesitation was all Naruto needed. Now, everything aligned, shadow opened, attacks redirected. Kakashi's own techniques turned against him for a brief moment. He was caught bound still. Naruto stood before him, blade raised, victory. Within reach, got you. But the world shifted again. Kakashi vanished, reappeared elsewhere, free. The illusion broke, the truth revealed. Naruto didn't look surprised, just thoughtful. You adapted too. Kakashi, I smiled, of course. The alarm rang, time was up. Silence followed, heavy, uncertain. You pass. Hinata blinked. Shino adjusted his glasses. Naruto stayed still, watching, because even now, that presence was still there, still learning, still evolving. And then reality froze. Not Kakashi, not the team, everything. Words appeared. Not from the shadow realm, not from Naruto, something else. Reward granted. Naruto's eyes narrowed, because this wasn't his system. So you're not just watching anymore, he whispered. No answer, but the message remained, and behind it, a faint smile, not his, not Kakashi's, something else entirely.
It was never just a mission, not the exam, not the shadow realm, not the even fight. Everything was a test, a setup, a game, and now Naruto finally says the truth. The anime is not hiding anymore. It's watching him, learning him, and now it's playing against him, manipulating the real world, controlling events, even deciding who lives and who dies. So the real question is, if the entity can control reality itself, then how do you fight something that already one step ahead? And more importantly, is Naruto still the hunter? Yeah, has he already become the prey?
Chapter 4. The message didn't disappear, it lingered, not in the air, not in the shadow realm, but in Naruto's mind. Reward granted, it wasn't his, that was the problem. Naruto stood still long after Kakashi had spoken, long after the test had ended, long after Hinata and Shino relaxed, because something had crossed a line. The shadow realm was his domain, his system, his rules, but this was something else, something that didn't belong to him, and yet it answered him. Naruto exhaled slowly. So you're evolving faster than I thought. No reply, but he didn't need one anymore, because now it wasn't just observing, it was interfering. Days later, the mission sounded simple, too simple, which made Naruto uneasy. A cat. Just a cat, and yet every instinct in his body told him this wasn't about the cat. It moved quietly through the streets, small, light, unassuming, a brown blur slipping between shadows, but its presence felt wrong. Naruto watched from above, still, silent. His eyes tracked every movement, every twitch, because this wasn't the first time, and that alone was suspicious. Again, Naruto muttered, behind him. Shino adjusted his stance. This pattern is inefficient, he said calmly. Hinata stood ahead, blocking the path, focused. The cat stopped for just a second, and in that second, Naruto felt it, that same presence, faint but there, watching through it. Naruto's eyes darkened. You're using it now, still no answer. But the confirmation was clear. The cat bolted fast. Hinata moved instantly, intercepting. Shino's insects surged. Naruto dropped from above. The trap closing perfectly, but the cat didn't panic, didn't hesitate, it moved. Like it knew, too precise, too aware. Naruto's grip tightened, you're controlling it. The chase exploded across the street. People scattered, voices rose, but Naruto didn't hear any of it because everything felt staged like the battlefield before, controlled, measured. The cat darted through crowds, dodging perfectly, too perfectly. Hinata gained ground, Shino's insects struck. But the cat twisted away. By a margin too small to be natural, Naruto appeared ahead, cutting it off, but even then, it adapted, changed direction instantly. Naruto's expression hardened. You're learning movement now, that was new. That was dangerous, the trap tightened, dogs, shadows, insects, every exit closed. The cat froze. Surrounded, cornered for a moment. Everything went still, and then Naruto felt it, a shift, sharp, sudden, not the cat, something else. Entering the scene fast, too fast, a small shape blurred past, a fox chased, but Naruto's focus snapped instantly. Not to the fox, but to the chakra behind it, unstable, wrong, move. Naruto barked, but it was too late, wind, fire, colliding, amplifying, the explosion swallowed everything. Heat, light, silence. Naruto didn't move, didn't flinch, because he wasn't watching the fire, he was watching. The pattern, the timing, the coincidence, too perfect. When the flames died, only ash remained and a single red ribbon. Silence filled the street. But Naruto smiled, not amused, not satisfied, cold. That wasn't an accident. Behind him, Kakashi tensed, the others processed what they saw, but Naruto had already moved ahead because he saw what no one else did. The chakra, the shift, the disappearance, not escape, removal. Naruto turned slightly, eyes scanning the rooftops, shadows, corners, reflections, and then he saw it for just a moment, standing there, watching him, not hiding anymore, not pretending, and this time it smiled back. The smile didn't fade, it lingered, not on Naruto's face, on the thing watching him, because now it had made its move and Naruto had seen it. The ashes settled. The street returned to noise, to movement, to normalcy, but Naruto stood still, because nothing about this was normal. Not the timing, not the attackers, not the outcome, everything was placed, controlled, designed. Naruto turned slightly. So you're using pawns now? No answer, but he didn't expect one, because now the silence was the answer. No one else noticed, not Kakashi, not Hinata, not Shino, but Naruto had already connected it all, the attackers, the fox, the fire, the pattern, and more importantly, the precision. That wasn't chaos, that was execution, later. The Hokage's office, the air was heavy, not with anger, with something else, expectation. Sarutobi listened, Kakashi explained, Hinata stayed quiet, Shino observed, Naruto said nothing because words weren't needed. The lie was perfect, too perfect, and that made it believable. The woman screamed, grief, anger. But Naruto didn't look at her, didn't react, because his focus was elsewhere, watching, waiting for the next move. Sarutobi sighed, old, tired, but not blind. You've all done enough. Naruto's gaze flickered, because beneath those words there was something else, understanding. Then the shift, a new mission, a new path, a new stage. Naruto's lips curved slightly. Of course, the old man entered, loud, drunk, careless, but Naruto didn't see a client, he saw a variable, unstable, unpredictable, useful. The insult came, expected, but Naruto moved before it finished. Steel flashed, clean, precise. The bottle split. The moment froze, not physically, mentally, because Naruto watched again. Not the man, not Kakashi, but the space behind them. The reflections, the corners, nothing. Say that again, Naruto said softly, not threatening, testing. The man corrected himself instantly. Fear, real. Naruto nodded slightly, not controlled, good, one less variable. The mission was accepted, but Naruto already knew. This wasn't just a mission, it never was. Back in his apartment, The room filled with shadows, not from light, from presence. His clones stood before him. Commanders, extensions, weapons. Naruto's gaze moved across them, calculating because now he wasn't preparing for a mission, he was preparing for war. You all felt it, Naruto said quietly. No one asked what, they already knew. The system, the interference, the shift, it's not limited anymore. A pause, it's adapting to reality. Silence then. Movement orders given, assignments deployed. But this time, there was something different. Naruto hesitated, just slightly. Kodri. She stepped forward, eyes sharp, silent, you stay close. Not a suggestion, a necessity, because if things went wrong, they wouldn't just go wrong, they would be forced wrong. The gate, the team gathered. Naruto arrived, and immediately he felt it again, not as strong but present, watching from somewhere. Let's move. Kakashi's voice cut through the tension. They formed up, perfect, but Naruto adjusted slightly, half a step, barely noticeable, except the shadow beside him moved too, a fraction too late. Naruto's eyes narrowed, still sinking, good, still learning. The road stretched forward, calm, peaceful, too peaceful. Naruto didn't relax, didn't enjoy the moment. Because now, he knew better. Every step, every turn, every breath could be part of it. The first attack came, bandits, weak, predictable. Shino handled them, effortless, too effortless. Naruto didn't even turn because they weren't the threat, they were. Filler. Time passed, distance grew, and then the fog rolled in. Naruto stopped, not physically, mentally, because this felt familiar, too familiar. It's starting, he whispered. Hinata glanced at him. Naruto. He didn't answer because ahead, the next move was already waiting, a puddle still. Wrong. Naruto's gaze locked onto it, unblinking, because this time he didn't just see the trap, he saw the one setting it, not physically, but through the distortion, through the delay, through the flaw. Naruto's lips curved slightly. Found you, and for the first time, before the attack even began. Naruto moved first. Found you. The thought didn't echo, it locked. Naruto's eyes stayed on the puddle. Not the surface. The distortion beneath it, because it wasn't chakra, not normal chakra. It was delayed, like something was reacting. A fraction too late, and that was the flaw then. They rose, two figures, identical, silent, fast, chains snapped outward. When Kakashi was caught, wrapped, torn apart, blood scattered across the ground. Hinata froze, Shino tensed, Tazuna gasped. Naruto didn't move, didn't react, didn't believe it, because the presence didn't react either. Fake. Naruto stepped forward slowly. You're late. The two attackers paused. Just slightly. That was all Naruto needed. Demon brothers, he said calmly, his voice steady, but his eyes watching something else, behind them, through them, not the enemies. The thing controlling the flow. You're not here for him, Naruto continued, nodding toward Tazuna. A beat. You're here for me. The chain tightened, the attack began, but Naruto moved first. A clone split beside him. Already intercepting, steel flashed, clean, efficient. Naruto slipped inside the guard. Too fast, too precise, because he wasn't fighting them. He was fighting the pattern, a strike. Blocked, a counter. Avoided everything. Predicted. Gazu faltered just slightly, because Naruto didn't move like before, he moved. Offbeat, unnatural, unlearnable. The blade pierced, clean, but Naruto didn't finish it. Not yet, because something else was happening. Mizu moved toward Tazuna. But Shino was already there. Hinata shifted. Perfect formation, too perfect, and that's when Naruto saw it, the delay again, the enemy. Adjusted late, not instinctively, but reactively. Naruto's eyes darkened. You're still sinking through them. Good, that meant there was still a gap. The fight escalated, water, steel, movement, but Naruto wasn't focused on the battle. He was watching. The timing, the response, the hesitation, and then he found it, that exact moment. When the world didn't line up, Naruto moved, not at the enemy. At the space between actions, his chakra twisted. That same unfamiliar pattern, the one that broke it before, and for a split second. Everything slowed, the brothers hesitated. Not by choice, by interference, Naruto struck, decisive, ending the fight instantly. One down, one captured, silence followed, Kakashi reappeared, alive, expected, but Naruto didn't look at him, didn't listen, didn't care because the presence had pulled back just slightly. You felt that, still no answer, but Naruto smiled because now he had confirmation it wasn't perfect, not yet. Kakashi spoke, praise, analysis, but Naruto only half listened because something else had already started inside his mind. Information flooded in, new techniques, new patterns, new possibilities. Naruto absorbed it all. But filtered one thing, what can't be copied. That was the key, not power, not speed, unpredictability, chaos, human error, things that couldn't be replicated perfectly. Naruto exhaled slowly, then I'll stop fighting like a system. Behind him. Shino spoke, Hinata listened. The mission didn't feel right, too much resistance, too much escalation. Naruto turned toward Tazuna, eyes sharp, not angry, not threatening, calculating. You're lying. The air froze, Kakashi stepped forward, same conclusion, same timing, but Naruto noticed. The presence flickered again, watching this moment closely, interested. Of course you are, because this wasn't part of the plan. Tazuna broke, words spilled. Truth revealed, a bigger enemy, a deeper conflict, but Naruto barely listened because something else was approaching, faint, hidden, but there, watching, waiting, and this time it wasn't testing, it was preparing. Naruto's eyes lifted slightly. Toward the trees, toward the fog, toward the next move. It's coming. Kakashi glanced at him. What is? Naruto didn't answer, because for the first time, he wasn't reacting, he wasn't chasing, he wasn't analyzing, he was waiting for it to step into his world. Fully, and when it did, Naruto would be ready. It's coming. Naruto didn't take his eyes off the trees, because now it wasn't just instinct, it was confirmation. Tazuna's voice cut through the tension. A story about power, control, fear, about a man who ruled from the shadows. Naruto listened. But not for the details, for the pattern, bandits, missing nin, assassins, escalation, always escalation, just like before. Naruto's gaze darkened slightly. So he sends stronger enemies the more you resist. Tazuna nodded, but Naruto didn't look convinced, because this wasn't just Gato anymore, something else was guiding this, shaping it. Kakashi spoke next, calm, measured, but Naruto could hear the shift, the risk, the weight of the decision. His team answered, one by one, steady, resolved. Naruto stayed silent, not because he was unsure, but because he was thinking ahead. If this is staged, then what's next? Did you really need to ask? Naruto finally said, and that was enough. The mission continued, but now every step felt heavier, because Naruto knew. They weren't just walking forward, they were walking into something. The shoreline, fog thickened, sound dulled, vision narrowed. Naruto exhaled slowly. Perfect conditions. Not for travel, for an ambush. The ferryman arrived like a ghost. Silent, unseen, even that felt wrong. Naruto stepped onto the boat. And immediately, his senses stretched outward, searching, not for enemies. For that presence, nothing, which made it worse, because that meant it was hiding better, or waiting. The journey across the water was quiet, too quiet. Even Hinata felt it. Why is it so silent? She whispered. The ferryman snapped, fear in his voice, real fear. Naruto noted it, not controlled, good, but that didn't relax him, because real fear meant real danger. They reached land. The fog didn't lift, it thickened. Naruto's steps slowed slightly, not visibly, but internally, calculating. Every sound mattered now, every movement. Then a rustle, small, sharp, Hinata reacted instantly. Too fast, kunai flew. A squeak followed, a rabbit emerged, white, out of place. Naruto's eyes narrowed, Shino spoke, Kakashi confirmed, and in that moment, everything aligned, substitution bait. Naruto's muscles tensed, here it comes, duck. Kodri's voice tore through his mind. Naruto didn't hesitate, he moved, the world slowed, sound stretched, steel screamed through the air, a massive blade tore past. Close enough that Naruto felt the wind slice his skin. Impact, the ground shook, silence, then he appeared standing above the blade, like a king on a throne of destruction, bandaged face, cold eyes, and a presence. Heavy, killing intent poured from him. Like a storm, Naruto didn't flinch, but his eyes logged because this wasn't just a threat. This wasn't just an enemy, this was another piece of the game. Zabuza Mamachi, Kakashi muttered, recognition, respect, tension. Naruto stepped forward slightly, but his focus shifted from the man to his outfit, black marked red clouds. Naruto's breath slowed, no way. Because that symbol didn't belong here, didn't belong now. The timeline didn't match the world. Didn't match, and that meant only one thing. Naruto's eyes darkened completely. You placed him here. Zabuza smiled, but it wasn't for Kakashi, it was for Naruto, and behind that smile, for just a moment, Naruto saw it again, that same presence, looking through him, through Zabuza, through everything, watching, enjoying, testing. Naruto clenched his fist slowly. So this is your next move. Oh. Zabuza tilted his head slightly, curious, as if he didn't fully understand his own role, and that confirmed it. He wasn't fully in control, not entirely, but enough to be dangerous, very dangerous. Naruto stepped forward, chakra shifting, that same unnatural pattern forming again, this time stronger, more defined, if you want to play. His eyes locked onto Zabuza. Then I'll break your board. The mist thickened, the air dropped, and for the first time, even Kakashi felt it. Something was very, very wrong. Chapter 5. This wasn't supposed to happen. Zabuza here now. The timeline is broken, the rules are gone. And Naruto just realized something terrifying. This enemy isn't just watching anymore. It's rewriting reality itself, placing enemies, controlling events, turning the entire world into its battlefield. So now the question is, if even time and destiny can be manipulated, then how does Naruto fight something that controls the story itself? And more importantly, is this still Naruto's journey? Or has it already become someone else's game? The moment Naruto saw it, that cloak, everything inside him snapped into focus. Black with red clouds, not just an enemy, not just a mission, a distortion. Zabuza stood there, the Akatsuki cloak flowing lightly in the mist, as if it belonged, as if it had always been there. Naruto's fists trembled, not from fear, from rage, from realization, from the truth clawing its way into his mind. This wasn't supposed to happen. Naruto, what's wrong? Kakashi asked, his tone sharp now. Naruto didn't look at him, his eyes were locked onto Zabuza. Akatsuki. The word dropped like a blade. Shino's head tilted slightly. Explain. Before Naruto could. Zabuza laughed, deep, mocking. Oh, this is priceless, the nine tails Jinchuriki, surrounded by ignorance. Naruto stepped forward slowly. Don't listen to him, Kakashi said, though his own stance shifted. Naruto's voice cut through the tension. Akatsuki hunts Jinchuriki. They don't want peace, they want control. Silence, heavy, dangerous. Zabuza's grin widened beneath his bandages. Good, saves me the explanation. Kakashi's eye sharpened. You were listed as A rank. Oh, was, Zabuza corrected, not anymore. Naruto's gaze darkened. Where's your partner? A pause, a smirk, close enough to watch you die. Kodri, I've already found movement, her voice echoed in Naruto's mind. He's not attacking, he's waiting. Of course he is, they're studying us. Enough, Kakashi stepped forward, revealing his Sharingan. You're not taking anyone. Zabuza's presence shifted, then he vanished too fast, too sudden, too wrong. He appeared directly behind Tazuna, sword already descending. Shino and Hinata reacted. Too slow, Naruto moved, steel collided. Two blades barely held Zabuza's strike. The ground cracked beneath Naruto's feet. Zabuza's eye flickered. Naruto saw it. That same delay, that same adjustment. You're being controlled, Naruto whispered. Zabuza's grin faltered just slightly. That was enough. A brutal kick. Naruto was sent flying, crashing into the ground and skidding across the dirt. Kakashi moved instantly, engaging Zabuza in a storm of steel and killing intent. Behind them, Shino's insects spread like a black tide. Hinata activated her Byakugan, locking onto every movement. Formation tightened, defense sharpened. They weren't just reacting anymore. They were adapting, hidden in the trees. A second presence watched, still, silent, calculating but not unseen. The moment Haku shifted, everything changed. Blades cut through the air. Arrows struck where he had been. Clones, multiple, layered, watching from every angle. He moved again, barely avoiding a dart that struck the tree. The wood blackened instantly, decay spreading like a disease. His eyes widened, poison. Then, a new presence stepped forward. Kodri, calm, controlled, deadly, no wasted movement, no hesitation. Haku's focus tightened instantly. Whatever illusion tried to distort his senses. He cut through it, clean, precise. His voice was calm. You rely too much on misdirection. Kodri's eyes narrowed, then don't blink. Steel clashed, fast, relentless. Their movements blurred through the trees. A battle hidden within another battle, back on the battlefield. Naruto rose slowly, breathing steady, eyes locked, not on Zabuza, but on the pattern, the delay, the manipulation. I see it now. Kakashi was pushed back again. Cuts forming across his arms. Zabuza pressed forward relentlessly, stronger, faster, but not perfect. Naruto vanished, reappeared in front of Kakashi just as Zabuza struck. The impact exploded outward. And Naruto was sent crashing into the lake. Water swallowed him, cold, silent, still, then. Kakashi's voice, Naruto, hold him off, then run, you can't win this. Naruto surfaced slowly, water dripping from his face, eyes steady, no. Zabuza's clones formed instantly, 10 of them. 5 moved toward Tazuna, 5 toward Naruto. Naruto stepped forward, blades igniting with chakra, those who abandon their friends. His voice was low, deadly, are worse than trash. The clash exploded, clones shattered, steel rang, movement blurred. Naruto cut through them. 1, 2, 3, but they kept coming, behind him. Shino's expression hardened, his insects surged outward. Dark, hungry, different, Hinata's Byakugan flared. Then, stopped, her eyes widened, Naruto. Naruto froze mid-step. A sudden chill ran down his spine, not from Zabuza, not from the clones, from everywhere. The mist thickened unnaturally. The air shifted, the world paused, and then a voice not heard, not spoken, but felt, you're learning too fast. Naruto's eyes widened, because this time. It wasn't watching, it was talking. Time snapped, not resumed, released, like something had been holding reality by the throat and finally let go. The world roared back to life, sound crashed in, chakra surged, steel clashed, and death continued. One of Zabuza's clones lunged forward, only to be swallowed whole by Shino's swarm, wasps pierced, demonic insects devoured. The clone didn't even scream before collapsing into water, but Hinata's breath hitched. Shino. He turned and felt his heart drop. 4 clones remained, perfectly still, perfectly positioned, each with the massive sword stabbed into the ground beside them, each finishing hand signs, and above them. Something unnatural formed, 4 massive dragons, made of black fire, writhing, screaming, alive. Demon skill, Blackfire Dragon. The clones dissolved instantly, sacrificing everything into the attack, and the dragons descended. Even Kakashi's lightning felt small in comparison. Even the air trembled, even the mist burned. They were going to die. A blur. A shadow, a presence, Naruto appeared right in front of them, hands already sealed, eyes cold, focused. Shadow Dome, ultimate protection. Darkness answered him, every shadow in the area twisted, rose, collapsed inward. Forming a dome around them, the dragons struck, 1, 2, 3, 4, and passed through, vanished, consumed, silence. The dome fell apart, returning to nothing. Naruto dropped to one knee, breathing heavy, chakra drained, but his eyes. Still sharp, still watching. You okay? Hinata's voice trembled. Naruto nodded once, already moving, already adapting. Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Flames scattered across the battlefield, forcing Zabuza to release his water prison. Kakashi dropped free. Zabuza cut through the flames, rushing forward, blade raised, ready to end it, a whisper at his throat, "Don't forget." Kakashi right behind him, "Your opponent is me." Zabuza's body melted into water, again, but Naruto saw it, that delay, that hesitation, that unnatural correction. "You're slipping elsewhere." Steel rang in rapid succession. Kodri staggered, blood dripping, breathing uneven. Haku stood before her. Calm, precise, unshaken. "You're strong," he said quietly, "but not enough." A kunai flashed. Striking clean through her head, she dissolved. Haku didn't hesitate, didn't celebrate. He moved toward his master, back on the battlefield. Zabuza reformed, breathing heavy. Chakra low, time running out, end it. Hand signs flew, fast, desperate. Kakashi mirrored him. Faster, sharper, water style, water dragon jutsu. 2 dragons rose, collided, tore each other apart. Rain fell, mist thickened, and Zabuza prepared one final move. Naruto's eyes narrowed. Now, demon skill, uprising of the dead. The water beneath Zabuza exploded. Skeletal arms burst upward. Grabbing, binding, dragging, Zabuza reacted instantly. Cutting chakra, falling free. But too late, Kakashi was already moving. Water style, water vortex jutsu. The world twisted, water roared, and Zabuza was dragged under. Pressure crushed him. Breath vanished, vision blurred, then impact, he was thrown violently. Crashing into a submerged tree, the jutsu collapsed, water settled, and silence returned. Zabuza looked up, barely breathing, barely conscious, and froze. He was surrounded, ice wolves, Naruto's clones, circling, slow, deliberate, above him. Kakashi stood, hand glowing, Chidori screaming, ready to pierce his heart. Ice wolves, Zabuza rasped, "How?" Kakashi didn't answer because Naruto wasn't looking at Zabuza anymore. He was looking past him, through him, into the mist, and then his eyes widened because standing behind Kakashi, silent, invisible to everyone else, was another Naruto, not a clone, not chakra, not shadow, perfect, smiling. Kakashi's hand hovered inches from Zabuza's heart. Chidori screamed, lightning crackled, and Naruto wasn't watching the kill. He was staring behind Kakashi, at himself, same face, same eyes, same presence, but wrong, too still, too aware, too perfect. "I don't really care," Kakashi muttered, voice cold. "All that matters is your death." The world should have ended there, it didn't. A roar shattered everything, not sound. Violence, the ground split, trees snapped, air trembled, a 30-foot salamander erupted into existence, crushing the battlefield beneath its sheer presence. Zabuza laughed, and in that single second, everything collapsed before Kakashi could react. A blur, a hand, a precise strike. To the back of his neck, the Chidori vanished. Kakashi dropped, unconscious. Naruto's eyes widened. What the hell? Ice erupted. A beam from the salamander's mouth froze the ground instantly. Clones shattered, wolves broke apart like glass. Shino cursed under his breath. Hinata froze for a fraction of a second, then moved. Haku stood where Kakashi had been, silent, efficient, lifting Zabuza. Shino reacted instantly. Kakachu surged forward, but Haku deflected, vanished, and both enemies disappeared into the mist. Damn it. Naruto didn't chase, didn't hesitate, didn't panic. He turned, eyes locked onto the monster. Hinata, stay with Kakashi. Shino with me. They moved 50 feet, they stopped. The salamander watched, breathing, waiting, learning. Naruto's hands blurred, summoning jutsu. Smoke exploded outward, and something massive descended. A giant toad, scarred, armed, ancient. Jiraiya, why have you summoned me? The forest shook. Naruto didn't flinch. Sorry, Gamabunta, but I need that thing dead. The toad's gaze shifted, locked onto the salamander. Heh. The air shifted. I like your thinking, brat. He jumped, the ground shattered beneath him. Shino nearly lost balance. Naruto caught him instantly. Steel flashed. Gamabunta's blade came down. Blocked, the salamander's tail caught it, held it, stopped it. Too strong, Naruto moved, leapt midair. Eyes glowing, Rinnegan spinning. Demon skill, hell flame blast. White fire erupted. Screaming toward the beast, ice answered, a massive sphere. Colliding, slowing, the salamander reacted. Ripped Gamabunta's blade free. Hurled it. Impact, explosion, fire scattered. Naruto landed back on Gamabunta, jaw tight, mind racing. Oil now. Shino wind. No hesitation, oil flooded the battlefield. Fire style, toad flame bomb. Flames ignited, wind style, great breakthrough. The fire exploded outward. Inferno, heat, destruction. The salamander screamed, then. Silence, only scorched remains, burnt flesh, nothing else. Naruto narrowed his eyes, too easy. Behind them. Movement, jump. Gamabunta moved instantly. A blast of fire tore through where they stood seconds ago. The salamander emerged. Unharmed, skin discarded, body renewed, it had adapted. Naruto's grip tightened. Of course you did. Water-style gunshot. Gamabunta fired. 3 massive blasts. 1 deflected, 1 frozen, 1 hit. The salamander staggered. Now. Lightning style, false darkness. Lightning pierced through the wet flesh. Electricity surged. The beast convulsed. They had it, finally. They had it. Naruto stepped forward, hands forming seals, eyes burning. Demon skill, summoning, harbinger of death. The world froze, not slowed, not delayed, stopped. Even chakra halted, even breath paused. Naruto's eyes widened, because this time he wasn't alone in it, standing right in front of him. The other Naruto, smiling. You're getting predictable. Naruto's heart dropped, not from fear, from understanding, because the salamander. The Akatsuki. Zabuza. Even this fight. None of it mattered. This was the real battle, and he had just been pulled into it. The moment Naruto reached for his summon. Everything stopped, not slowed, not delayed, stopped. The mist froze mid-motion. Water droplets hung suspended in the air. Even Gamabunta's massive body became nothing more than a statue. Only Naruto could move. Only Naruto could breathe. And then, the temperature dropped, not gradually, not naturally, instantly. The air turned sharp, cold enough to cut. The mist twisted violently. Not with wind, but with intent. It spiraled inward, condensed, collapsed. And something stepped out of it, a towering skeletal figure. It stood as tall as Gamabunta, wrapped in a black robe that swallowed all light. A hood hid its face completely. But Naruto could feel it staring at him, and resting on its shoulder. A massive scythe, not chakra, not steel, something far worse. The moment it fully formed, Everything around them began to die. Trees blackened, leaves shriveled. The ground itself cracked and decayed, even chakra. Fled, Naruto didn't move, didn't attack, because instinct screamed at him. This is not something you fight. The entity moved, one slow step, reality bent around it, its scythe rose. And fell, the salamander's tail vanished, no resistance, no delay, just gone, the beast roared. But the sound cut off abruptly, because the figure had already moved again, a single kick. And the massive creature lifted into the air like it weighed nothing. Naruto's breath hitched. This isn't power. This is control. The scythe swung again. The salamander's head separated cleanly from its body. No explosion, no struggle, just erasure. The summon dissolved into nothing, and just like that, the skeletal figure vanished, time resumed, sound returned, wind moved, water fell, but something had changed. The world felt thinner. Naruto clenched his fists, eyes burning. That wasn't part of the system. Oh. His voice came out low, dangerous. Who the hell has the salamander contract besides Hanzo? No answer, far away. Through the forest. Haku sneezed. He nearly slipped as his salamander darted through the trees. Behind him, Zabuza barely clung to consciousness. Where are we? Zabuza muttered. Haku didn't slow down. We escaped, barely. His voice remained calm. But his grip tightened. The headache had you, and I couldn't finish him. The Aburame noticed me. I had to retreat. A pause. I left a summon behind to delay them. Zabuza exhaled slowly. That contract saved us again. His gaze drifted. Pain-sama's gift. Flashback. Blood, pain, failure. Haku and Zabuza knelt. Broken, blighting before them. A man with the Rinnegan, and behind him 3 more. All identical, all watching. You wish to hunt a Jinchuriki. The Deva Path spoke coldly, yet you cannot defeat even 4 of us. Haku forced himself up, hands trembling, eyes burning, ice style, frost breath. The air froze, mist thickened, ice style, frozen wolf hunt. Dozens of ice wolves charged, Zabuza followed. Water style, water dragon jutsu. Haku froze at mid-flight. Turning it into a weapon of ice, they attacked together, Shinra Tensei. Everything was blown away, except the frozen dragon. It crashed into one of the paths, encasing it in ice for a brief moment. Silence then. Impressive. The Deva Path tilted his head slightly. You pass. Flashback in. Haku blinked back in the present. Yeah. He said quietly, it saved us again. Oh. Zabuza exhaled, then we report. Tsunami Inari, I'm home. The door burst open, relief filled the room. Until they saw Kakashi, unconscious, broken, fear replaced it instantly. Hinata scanned the area, Byakugan active, Shino stayed silent, watching, calculating. Naruto wasn't looking at them. He was staring at nothing, because in his mind, that figure was still standing there. Days passed. Kakashi woke, training resumed, routine returned, but Naruto never relaxed. He stayed alert, watching, waiting, because now he understood something terrifying. The entity wasn't the top of the chain. Night, Naruto carried Hinata inside, quiet, careful. He laid her down gently, paused, then softly he kissed her cheek and left. Kakashi watched everything. Said nothing, but as Naruto walked away, Kakashi's eye narrowed, because for just a moment, Naruto's shadow didn't follow him. It stayed behind, watching, smiling, and then it slowly turned its head toward Kakashi. Kakashi's eye lingered on Naruto's back. Just for a second too long, because that shadow, it had looked back at him. Naruto didn't notice, or maybe he chose not to. Awe does Narukan like Hina-chan. Kakashi teased lightly. Naruto froze mid-step. A faint red touched his cheeks. Shut up. When just like that. He sank into the shadows, gone. Kakashi chuckled softly. But his gaze shifted downward, to where Naruto's shadow had been for a moment. It didn't follow him, then it snapped forward, like it had been dragged. Troublesome, Kakashi muttered under his breath. The next day. Darkness silenced the shadow realm. Naruto stood at the center of his home base. Shino beside him, arms folded. Shouldn't we be guarding Tazuna? Shino asked calmly. Naruto didn't even look at him. I left enough behind. His tone was flat, controlled. Jake, Kodri, multiple divisions, clones layered in rotations. A pause if something breaks through that. His eyes narrowed slightly. Then it's not something we could have stopped anyway. Shino didn't respond immediately, because for the first time, Naruto sounded uneasy. So why are we here? He asked instead. Naruto exhaled. We prepare. The word felt heavier than it should have. We gather resources, build reserves, strengthen logistics. Oh, he raised a hand. And space itself tore open. Weapons dropped out, bows, arrows, lassos, strange red and white capsules. We hunt. The plains stretched endlessly, animals roamed freely. Unaware, Naruto moved first, silent, efficient. A lasso snapped forward. Wrapping around a horse's legs, the beast collapsed. Before a capsule struck its skull, captured, Shino watched closely, learning, adapting. They moved like predators, arrows flew, wind infused, deadly, each shot. Precise, clean, no wasted movement, no wasted breath. Naruto didn't hesitate, didn't slow down, even when the wounded animals struggled. He finished it instantly, cold, efficient. Shino noticed, but said nothing because this wasn't the Naruto he knew from before. This Naruto was preparing for something. Something big, something coming, back in the real world. Hinata stumbled. Barely dodging a lightning construct, her body screamed in exhaustion. I yield. Kakashi helped her up. You rely too much on tradition. He handed her chakra paper, water, strong, pure. That's why your gentle fist feels wrong. Hinata stared at her hands, then I'll change it. Kakashi smiled behind his mask. Good. Elsewhere. Darkness, a cavern, 11 shadows stood, watching, listening. The Nine-Tails Jinchuriki has been located. Silence fell instantly, even the most chaotic among them. Stopped, Kakashi of the Sharingan is present. A shift, a ripple, interest, danger, plans forming, 2 weeks. The voice echoed, cold, absolute, we move. Another figure appeared late, orange mask. Spiral eyes, you're accelerating things. A pause, this isn't like you. The leader didn't turn, the board has changed. Silence, so must we. Back on the bridge. Naruto stood still, watching, waiting, Kakashi beside him. Neither spoke, but both felt it, something approaching, something inevitable. You're thinking too much, Kakashi said casually. Naruto didn't respond because his shadow moved just slightly, against the light, against logic, and this time Naruto saw it that night. Naruto walked silently, Hinata asleep on his back, peaceful, quiet, almost normal. He placed her down gently, paused, then leaned forward and kissed her cheek, soft, careful, as if holding onto something real before it disappeared. He turned, walked away. Kakashi watched again. But this time, he wasn't looking at Naruto, he was looking at the wall, because Naruto's shadow didn't follow him at all. It stayed, stretched, watching Hinata, and then, slowly, it began to peel itself off the ground, not like a shadow, but like something being born, far away. Itachi opened his eyes. Something's wrong. Kasame frowned. What is it? Itachi didn't answer immediately, because for a brief second, he felt it, that same presence Naruto had seen, watching, waiting, learning back in the room. The shadow fully detached, rising, forming, taking shape. Into Naruto, but not quite, its smile. Too wide, too wrong, and as Hinata stirred slightly in her sleep. That thing leaned closer, whispering something. No one else could hear. Chapter 6. The house was too quiet, not peaceful, not calm. Dead, Naruto's eyes opened slowly. For a moment he didn't move, because something felt. Off, not outside, not the mission, inside, his shadow. He turned his head slightly. The dim light of early morning stretched across the floor, and his shadow was already there, facing him before he even moved. Naruto's eyes narrowed. You're getting bold. No response, it shifted just slightly, then snapped back into place like nothing happened. Naruto exhaled slowly. Not now. Because today. He could feel it, the air itself was waiting. 2 weeks of silence, 2 weeks of absence, too clean, too perfect, and today's the day. He moved out of bed through shadow, into motion, routine. Efficient, cold water, sharp focus. By the time he stepped into the kitchen, everything looked normal. Kakashi reading, Shino training outside, Tazuna pretending to relax, Tsunami cooking, but beneath it. Tension heavy, pressing, today's the day, Kakashi said without looking up. Naruto sat down across from him, most likely. A pause, 2 weeks, no movement, no mistakes. His fingers tapped lightly against the table. That's not hiding. A beat, that's preparation. Kakashi's eye flicked up, he understood. Good, because this wasn't a normal mission anymore. After Akatsuki Gato dies, Naruto added flatly. Kakashi didn't answer immediately. If we're still standing. Naruto didn't argue, but his eyes darkened. Gato was already dead, he just didn't know it yet. Why do you even try? The voice shattered the tension. Inari, Naruto closed his eyes. Here we go. But this time, something was different, because when the boy screamed, the words didn't just hit Naruto, they echoed, inside, you don't know pain. Something cracked, not loudly, quiet, deep, and then it exploded, chakra erupted, wild, uncontrolled, violent, the house shook, walls cracked, air screamed, clones. Gone, erased instantly. Hinata screamed upstairs, Shino sprinted inside, Tsunami collapsed, and Naruto stood at the center, shaking, I don't know pain. His voice wasn't just his anymore, it echoed, layered, like something else was speaking with him. Have you ever been hated for existing? The floor cracked beneath his feet. Have you ever been alone since birth? Oh. The air distorted. Have you ever tried to die and been cheered for it? Silence heavy, suffocating, and then it stopped just like that. Naruto stood there, breathing hard, but his shadow didn't return to normal. It lagged just a fraction, smiling. Breakfast passed in silence, too quiet, too careful. Even Kakashi didn't joke because something had changed, not just in Naruto, in the air itself, like the world was. Watching, waiting at the door. Tazuna prepared himself. Hinata hugged Naruto. I won't leave you. Naruto held her tighter than usual. I know. But his eyes weren't on her, they were on the ground because his shadow didn't match his movement again. They moved toward the bridge, toward the end, halfway there. Naruto stopped just for a second. They've already started. Shino frowned. What do you? Do Hostel's house. A pause handled. He kept walking, but inside. He wasn't calm because he hadn't sensed that, not directly, something else had. The bridge emerged through the mist, thick, heavy, wrong, back for more, Zabuza. Kakashi called out, laughter answered, cold, mocking, and then they appeared 1, 2, 4, the air dropped. Even Naruto's breath paused, because this wasn't escalation, this was execution. Zabuza, Haku, and behind them 2 monsters, Kasame and Itachi. Naruto's eyes widened. But not in fear, in realization. This isn't the timeline, this isn't how it happened, this is wrong. No, worse, this was intentional, the entity Had moved the pieces, Kakashi spoke, assigned roles. Prepared them, but Naruto wasn't listening anymore, because his shadow was no longer beneath him, it stood beside him for a split second, looking at Itachi, smiling like it recognized him. Begin. And the world exploded into motion, steel clashed, water roared, chakra ignited. Naruto stepped forward. Toward Kasama, toward the fight, toward the game, but just before he moved, a voice whispered right beside his ear, not from outside, not from within, but from his shadow, "Let me take this one." Naruto froze because this time he knew that voice wasn't his. "Let me take this one." The voice still echoed, cold, close, too close. Naruto didn't turn, didn't react, because if he did, he might actually see it, and if he saw it, then it was real. And if it was real, then he was no longer alone in his own body. "Not yet," Naruto muttered under his breath. The shadow didn't argue, but it didn't disappear either. It lingered, watching, waiting. The battlefield erupted. Steel met steel, water roared, ice screamed, and Hinata was losing. Haku moved like a ghost, faster, sharper, deadlier. His knee slammed into her chin, and she felt the world tilt. Her body lifted, then crashed 10 feet. She rolled, blood trailing from her lips. But she stood, she always stood, gentle fist stance, determined. "I'm not done." Haku blurred too fast, she reacted. Deflected, struck. Her fingers almost closed a tenketsu. But he twisted, slipped inside her guard. A senbon flashed. Her throat. She bent back, barely, countered, palm rising. But he caught her, pulled, and crack, headbutt, chest, head, pain exploded. Hinata's vision blurred. Then she was airborne again. She forced her eyes open. 2 needles straight for her eyes. She twisted, leapt, hands already moving. Water style, water fang bullet. Water erupted, spikes, death. Haku didn't move, the bridge did. Water rose, blocked everything. And then it became a dragon, 20 feet, roaring, charging. Crap. Rotation. Her chakra spun, clashed, and the world shook again, elsewhere. Shino was drowning, not in water, in pressure. Zabuza wasn't playing, he was hunting, each swing. Death, each movement. Calculated, try again. Mocking, Shino adjusted. Bugs released, invisible, precise, and then they died midair just like that. Shino's eyes widened. So that's how it is. Demonic chakra, poison to his insects, he pulled them back. Too late, Zabuza moved. Water style, water shark bomb. The ocean answered, a shark of death surged upward. Shino jumped. Off the bridge, falling. Then silk snapped, his spiders caught him, swung him under. Around, back up. Perfect arc, hands moved. Wind style, dust cloud technique. Air screamed forward. But Demon skill, shield of Hades. Bone rose, ancient, unbreakable. The wind died. Zabuza smiled, "You're out of your leg." And vanished Naruto and Kasame, 10 feet, 2 monsters, one silent, one smiling. "You can't win, kid." Shadow clone jutsu. No hesitation. 4 clones, different roles, different angles, attack, steel flashed. Kasame moved like a beast, effortless, brutal, clones shattered, smoke, impact, pain, and then a single slash, blue chakra, katana chakra slash. Kasame raised same hata and devoured it. Naruto's eyes narrowed. So it eats chakra. Good, now he knew. Fire style, great fireball. Flames roared. Water shark bomb. Water consumed it, erased like it never existed. Kasame blurred forward, same hata reached. Hungry, Naruto jumped back, mind racing. No fire, no water, no lightning, no raw chakra. Then What was left, his eyes sharpened. I just need to separate you from that sword. Across the battlefield. Kakashi was dying not physically, mentally. Itachi didn't fight, he controlled layers, illusions. Reality twisting, 1 genjutsu, 2, 3, Kakashi broke them. Until he couldn't what? Too late, Kunai fell, explosive tags. Water. Sharks everywhere, you never understood me. Kakashi sank, struggling, drowning. Hinata fell, again, her leg frozen, her chakra. Almost gone, ice mirrors surrounded her, every angle, every death, time to die. Senbon raised, no escape, and then... Human boulder. The battlefield paused for a fraction. Hope Shino staggered, barely standing. Zabuza above him, blade raised, you're done. Shadow stitching jutsu. Darkness surged. And Naruto exploded back into the fight. Demon skill, Kagetsuchi's revenge. Flames roared. But they weren't alone, black fire from the side, colliding, dominating. Naruto's eyes widened. That's not mine. The black flames won, they turned, came for him. Hand sealed, a harbinger of death. The Reaper rose, scythe fell, reality split, flames divided, Naruto landed. Breathing hard, and then... Kakashi fell beside him, broken, defeated. Itachi stood, untouched, give up. Naruto growled, never. Kisame laughed, you're not enough. 2 S-rank monsters, 1 exhausted genin, and behind him. His shadow still watching, still waiting. Let me handle it. Naruto clenched his fists, shut up. And then... a new voice cut through the mist, calm, confident, deadly. How about we fix those odds? Leaves swirled, figures appeared, reinforcements, real ones, Team 10. Oh, is here. Asuma stepped forward, Kiba cracked his knuckles. And for the first time, the battlefield shifted, but Naruto didn't feel relief because his shadow finally moved, stepping forward, separating. Completely standing beside him, smiling, now we can really begin. What if the real enemy was never standing in front of Naruto? But right beside him, in the last chapter, everything changed. For Akatsuki, overwhelming power, Kakashi falling, Hinata on the edge, and Naruto pushed to his absolute limit. But just when defeat seemed certain, something far worse happened. His shadow didn't just move, it stepped out, it spoke, it chose to fight. And now the question isn't just, can Naruto defeat the Akatsuki? It's this. If your own shadow gains a will of its own, who's really in control, you or it?
That's all for now. If you enjoy this video, then please like, share and do comments.